This month, last week I paid, no problem. Boom, you took the $360. But now when I need something from you guys, I get the runaround. And that's been my experience with Florida Blue.
Calls will be recorded for quality assurance.
I had a prescription I was trying to get approved, and I was seeing maybe where that was as far as being approved and all that.
Sure, I'll be more than happy to assist you with that. May I have the ID number, please?
Sure, it is.
Okay, so it shows that it has been denied. It says you have not failed a generic stimulant drug. You also do not have a side effect, FDA label contraindication, or allergy to any of these drugs. And then it says examples of some generic stimulants are amphetamine, dextroamphetamine, amphetamine salts, or methylphenidate immediate release. Have you taken any one of those medications?
What are those prescribed for?
Those are just alternatives, generic, for the medication that you're trying to receive, the Vyvanse.
Okay, so give me some of those names again, so I can have it for my records here.
Okay, so just to let you know as well that the doctor's office received this letter as well. So if you have taken any, they will need to submit a new prior authorization and list and show proof of the medications that you have taken if you did. But they are amphetamine.
Right, amphetamine is but I don't think that's a drug though. Amphetamine, is it?
It says examples of generic stimulants are amphetamine, dextroamphetamine.
Okay, dextro. Let's see here, dextroamphetamine. Okay.
And it said mixed amphetamine salts.
I'm sorry, mixed.
Amphetamine salts.
Okay. And I'm assuming that's for binge eating, right? Let's see here.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay. Mixed amphetamine salt. And so, like, how do they decide whether it's approved or not? Is you say it goes up to, Florida Blue goes to like a board, or how does that?
Well, in this situation, this prior authorization request was denied through our clinical team because you didn't meet the requirements of those medications that I was naming out, and it has some more. It doesn't show from your doctor that you have tried and failed any of those medications. The next step, if you have not tried those medications, it will go through your plan, Florida Blue, for an actual appeal. And you would have to get appeal information from your plan. But you're going to receive a letter in the mail, and it's going to have appeal information on it for you as well, with the information with these prescriptions on it as well, as far as the alternative generics that you have not tried, or states that you have not tried. You'll have that information.
All right.
But it goes through the Florida Blue for an appeal if you have not tried any one of those medications.
Yeah, from what I understand, I was taking Vyvanse for binge eating. From what I understand, these drugs that you're mentioning aren't for binge eating. They're for, like, ADHD.
I'm only, reading from what the clinical team is stating. So the only way to get around what they're stating per your benefits is if you don't, if you have not tried it, then the only other thing, the doctor states that you have.
But why try it? Why try it when the other drug that my doctor prescribed worked? So why try those when I have something that's successful and doing well for me? Why would I try something else?
Well, per your plan is stating that you have to meet a certain criteria in order for them to cover the medication that you're trying to receive that the doctor wrote for you. So per your plan, it states that you have to have tried and failed a stimulant generic drug.
Like I'm some kind of lab rat. I just take whatever. If it's cheaper for Florida Blue, then it'd be better for them that I do that, not what my doctor's prescribed from me originally. Is basically what
your doctor is stating that the medication has been working for you and that you have some type of contraindication to any one of the medications that they're asking for you to try. Then your doctor can submit that information in another prior authorization.
So when I filled out when I went online to Healthcare.gov, one of the things that I guess chose Florida Blue was that Vyvanse was an approved medication under Florida Blue. And so that's one reason I chose it. And, of course, that's one reason I chose my doctor. So now they're saying that, oh, well, I have to jump through this hoop and that hoop, and I need to try Ritalin, or I need to try Adderall, or something that my doctor didn't prescribe for me. For something that's been working for me, now I have to do something completely different. And here it is, I've been, over a week without my medicine, and it's had implications on my health. I've had binge eating, I've gained weight, it's been detrimental to my health. Do you have anybody I can talk to as far as a doctor or something where they can explain to me why I've been off of my medication for a week and how that's in my best interest, and how I paid $360 over the last 2 months, but Florida Blue was more than happy to cash that, and I didn't call them back and say, well, before I pay you, maybe do you take Bitcoin? Do you barter? Maybe I can give you a microwave or something in order for payment. No, they took my cash just right, straight out.
Right. I understand, and I definitely understand 100%. But when it comes to this, there's someone that you're able to speak to in regards to their prior authorization request, other than doing an appeal with your plan.
Yeah. Well, you can let them know that I'm going to get an attorney, and I'll probably pursue it because I think it's fraud that I'm told by Healthcare.gov that this medicine's approved, and then over a week I'm being told through red tape, unnecessary red tape, which is detrimental to my health, that I have to do this and I have to do that, and then I have to call to see that it's not approved. No one called me. I had to call you guys. And
well, when it comes to the authorization request, the doctor receives a fax the same day, and then the clinical team they send you out the letter in the mail. They don't make phone calls in regards.
And then I'm going to have to. Well, I'm definitely going to contact Healthcare.gov and file a complaint as well. So you can let them know that as well. I'm going to be filing a complaint. But is there anyone else that I can talk to as far as, managerial or anything like that?
You want to see? You said the manager?
Or somebody, yeah.
Okay.
Explain to me, yeah.
Yes, sir. Bear with me for one moment, please.
I appreciate it. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
Thank you, Anthony. Hello, this is Marsha. I'm a senior specialist here at Prime Therapeutics, part of the supervisory team. I understand you were wanting to speak with the supervisor today. How can I help?
Yeah, well, I've been prescribed Vyvanse, and when I signed up for Florida Blue, one reason I signed up with you guys is because Vyvanse was an approved medication. And so last week, of course, I tried to get it filled first time, to try to get it filled, and then it takes a week, and then I call today. I have to call, and then I'm told that my prescription for Vyvanse is denied. I don't understand if it's something that my doctor prescribed. It's something that's been working for me for a year, and supposedly it's approved by Florida Blue. That's the reason on Healthcare.gov I signed up for it. How can it be possibly denied if that's what my doctor prescribed to me? He's the one that sees me every month, and he knows me personally. So why would your board or whoever on your team say, "Oh, well, it's not approved because of what?"
Right, and that's an excellent question, and a very fair point. Okay, so if a medication could be covered on the formulary, and I do understand that's why you selected Florida Blue, each medication, each prescription that you would get, some of them do have or need a prior authorization, quantity limits, step therapy, things of that nature. Now, it's not that it's not covered. If you wanted to get it, you could, but it's just the information that the doctor sent in was not enough. So it does actually look like you will be getting a letter, if you haven't already, indicating the reason why. So simply writing a prescription in most cases would be enough. But Florida Blue does state that we do need more information. This is just because you can pick up the medication and you can pay out of pocket. I know that's not very fair to you. I know that it's very expensive. We also do have pharmacists that are available for counseling, interruption of therapy, side effect questions, if you need any of that today, if you're without your medication. But what I'd like to do for you now is try and give the doctor's office a call to see if I can get the information we need.
Okay.
Simply writing a prescription, unfortunately, is not enough with Florida Blue. We do need the documented medications that you've tried and failed. So we need that list. It's stating basically that.
I don't understand. Like that one, I don't understand. If I was prescribed Vyvanse, it works. Yay, it works. Why would I need to try another medication?
Have you tried and failed them before?
Why?
Really works.
Why would I try another medication? If something works, why would I try another medication?
Before you were prescribed Vyvanse, did you try and fail anything else?
No, my doctor did not prescribe me another medication before Vyvanse.
So there's no trial and failure of anything else besides this one that's working?
Correct. Usually if you try something and it works, why try something else?
Right. And that is a fair point, but Florida Blue does need a list, basically examples of generic stimulants that are covered without.
Why would Florida Blue prefer a generic medication as opposed to Vyvanse?
Generic medications do typically have the same active ingredients, but they are slightly less expensive.
Right. Why is
so
that?
That's why they're...
Okay. So you're saying, well, if it's more expensive to me, that's fine. Why not just take whatever you would attribute to a generic medicine? Why not just apply that to the Vyvanse?
And that is a fair point, but unfortunately that's not how the plan is set up.
Okay.
They do choose which medications require prior authorization, and without that sufficient paperwork, it's simply not covered.
My doctor is going to submit to you that there was no other medicine that was prescribed before that. So what would we do then? Just for me to be a guinea pig and try other things that's cheaper? Just make sure that.
Or you could pay out of pocket.
Right, I could pay, $300.
Or they can actually, because let me go ahead and read you off this paragraph. This is also what the doctor got if you haven't got a letter. We don't have the list of the tried and failed medications or stimulant drugs. You also don't have a side effect, Food and Drug Administrator, FDA labeled contraindication, or an allergy to any of these drugs. So if the doctor can provide a list of the reason why this is the only medication in this class of medications that works, they can get that reviewed. And basically explains the contraindication is a health condition or risk that may cause harm if you take a different drug. Examples of generic stimulants are amphetamine, dextroamphetamine, mixed amphetamine salts, methylphenidate, that would be the generic Ritalin, methylphenidate ER, 30, 40, 20 milligrams, goes into the methylphenidate CDs, dextromethylphenidate, and any other, and it does also state that some of them may require prior authorization. I ran the amphetamine, dextroamphetamine ER. That one does not require prior authorization, but now if we're going into the 2-a-day, 3-a-day, they may go into quantity limit prior authorization. How many of these do you need? Do you know the quantity per day?
Well, I just take 50 milligrams of Vyvanse a day.
50, okay.
And I've been doing it since December of 2015. So
Okay.
It's worked for me for a year, and successfully. And I was losing weight, and here the last week I haven't had it because unfortunately I had the misfortune of Humana running out or them not being covered or not doing Healthcare.gov. And I had the misfortune of getting Florida Blue, signing up for Florida Blue. And then, of course, I've been over a week without it. I've gained weight. I've overeaten, not because I want to, just because, I don't have my medicine. And so, I sent my payment in December. Y'all took that, no questions, no. I didn't call you up and say, hey, do you take Bitcoin, do you barter or whatever. You took my payment, no problem. This month, last week I paid, no problem. Boom, you took $360. But now when I need something from you guys, I get the runaround. And that's been my experience with Florida Blue. And I know other friends, coincidentally, I've spoken to recently. One has polio, and they're going through the same circus. So that's been my experience. And I hope this is what I hope. I hope the Trump administration makes it to where other health insurances can come into our state and compete, and where I can get off of Florida Blue and then choose something else from another 50 state, which is the way it should be.
Did you want me to call your doctor's office to see if there's anything they can send in?
I mean, I know what they're going to send in. They're going to send in saying that there was nothing else prescribed, there was nothing else ever tested. And you guys are going to say, well, you need to test him out like a guinea pig on another medication that my doctor didn't prescribe me for. And I know that that's what's going to happen, right? Because that's what he's going to tell you.
I can't make that determination. Unfortunately, only our clinical review team can.
And
they can
I tell you what, I am
anything.
Do reviews, and I will be making a review of Florida Blue. I will be doing a review of Florida Blue, and just my experience, no fibs, no lies. It's just been my experience, and I'll probably be writing Healthcare.gov and say, what the deal is this? And I know that you can help me. I mean, what you're describing to me is something that you cannot help me with.
Now, did you want to talk with a pharmacist about alternatives that might be similar?
Well, it's got to be approved by my doctor, right? There's got to be a prescription for it.
You know, you would have to have a new prescription in because they can't, unfortunately, substitute. We can definitely go over what else could be equivalent to this that could be covered. And then, again, I'm happy to call your doctor's office to see if they have anything. They may not have a list of medications that you haven't felt, but if they have a clinical reason.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, maybe they have something. But I'm on pins and needles because I don't have.
I can definitely do that now. I do know, and I don't know if this one has it, but a lot of the manufacturers offer coupons. I know Vyvanse is a brand. If you wanted to reach out to the manufacturer.
No, I utilize the coupon. The coupon. So with Humana, they took the insurance, so it went down from like $250 to $120, and then I had the coupon which took it down to $60. Now, I don't know if there's been a price increase this year. It's a possibility, but what my pharmacist tells me is that it's $350. And
that's because the insurance isn't kicking in yet.
But I submitted the coupon, and the coupon brings it up to $200. It's possible that I could pay for that, but to be frank, I would just rather bite my nails and 100 I could deal with, 120 I could deal with, but if I have insurance, I'm not going to go up to 200. It's not going to happen.
I understand. Well, let me go ahead and call your doctor's office to see if there's anything they can send in, and then I'll follow up with you how that sounds.
Okay, that'll work.
And what's your phone number, sir? Okay, I'll go ahead and reach out to your doctor's office and I'll give you a call later on this afternoon. Now, it all is going to depend. I'm not going to have an answer for you today, simply because they've got to get everything that they have prepared and get it faxed over. But I'll give you a call today to let you know if they're able to send me anything.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions or concerns?
No, that does it.
Okay, well, we appreciate your business and we thank you for your call. You have a good day.
Thanks.
So there you go.